Good evening and thanks for tuning to Fox 23 News. I'm Zach Seminar. Southern Miss Golden Eagles picked up an impressive 47-42 road victory over the Troy Trojans. Back on Saturday, the offensive slugfest featured 42 total points scored in the fourth quarter as the Eagles continuously fended off a Trojan comeback. Jack Abraham threw for 463 yards and Quez Watkins hauled in 7 balls for 209 yards and 2 TDs for the Golden Eagles, who'll be back in Alabama to take on the Tide this weekend.
Certainly a hard-fought game, a good win. We knew we were playing a really good football team in Troy, and our guys showed a lot of resilience. We kept battling back. It was one of those games. It was just a back-and-forth battle the whole way.
The Mississippi State Bulldogs entered Saturday's showdown with Kansas State 2-0, looking to make a move into the top 25 into the country with a victory at home. Despite holding a 7-point fourth-quarter lead, Kansas State would score the final 14 points of the game, including this 100-yard kick return for a score from Malik Knowles. That sunk the Dogs 31-24. Kylan Hill was great again on the ground, running for over 100 yards, but just a few plays here and there spelt the demise for this MSU team on this day.
Certainly disappointed in the loss. Had some opportunities there in the second half to put the thing away and weren't able to do it. I mean, we outgained them 352-269. The turnovers was a push. We won third down. We won red zone, but we're going to look back and see probably 3 or 4 plays in each phase, offense, defense, and special teams, where we've got to make sure we're in the right call as a coaching staff. We got to make sure we're executing the plays at critical junctures of the games.
Ole Miss Rebels improved to 2-1 this year, but it wasn't pretty. It was a 40-29 win over FCS foe Southeastern Louisiana. Lions racked up nearly 400 yards of offense against a less than effective Rebel D, but Jerrion Ely 94-yard kick return for a touchdown was just enough to get Mississippi over the finish line.
But again, I'm happy we got the win. Need to try to continue to build on the vision of this program. Every time that you put on that uniform, it's got to mean something to you when you walk on that field and you have this vision of what you want it to look like. That wasn't what we wanted.
Saints got to see the LA Rams for the first time since last year's NFC Championship game, and once again, Saints got played by the refs. Although it may not have ultimately cost them the game, the Zebras blew a play dead that would have otherwise resulted in an 85-yard fumble recovery for a touchdown for Cam Jordan. That would have given the New Orleans Saints an early lead, but Coach Sean Payton says they can't dwell on the bad calls and should only focus on what they can control.
We can't focus, the things we can control as coaches are the things that I just alluded to. When we get poor officiating or we get an awful call like that, we can't control that. So our focus this week is going to be on cleaning up the penalties and making sure we got the right guys on the field too.
Well, to add injury to insult, the Saints are expected to be without quarterback Drew Brees for the bulk of the next 2 months. Brees will likely land on the shelf for about 6 weeks after injuring his thumb in yesterday's loss. Brees tore a ligament in that right thumb after his throwing hand hit the hand of Rams defender Aaron Donald on a pass attempt. Teddy Bridgewater replaced Brees, and he'll be the starter while Brees recovers from thumb surgery. 40-year-old Brees, he's been an Ironman of sorts, missing just 1 game due to injury in his NFL career.